Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe from Chiro Health Spa. Today we're going to talk about how we use this particular therapy called spinal decompression for your headaches. So let's talk about headaches a little bit. There are a lot of different kinds. There are tension headaches, there are cluster headaches, there are migraine headaches. There's so many different kinds. However, in the cases where the headache is actually coming from the neck, this therapy called spinal decompression can be one of the better ones that we can use. Now, what does that mean that it's coming from the neck? What it means many times is the fact that the neck in a normal position should have a curve just like this. So it should be almost like a reverse C. What we see frequently with people with headaches is that are coming from the neck is that C starts to flatten out and it gets very straight. Sometimes it's even in a reverse. So what we want to do is help relieve the tension on the neck and the neck muscles so that the head doesn't take the brunt of all of this. So if you've ever had a headache and you say, my God, if somebody would just lift my head straight off of my body and hold it there, I would feel fantastic. That's pretty much what this is going to do. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that because we're using the computerized weights and things like that. But here's what will happen. When you're on spinal decompression, what Yuna's doing here is just laying here. As you can tell, it's not very exciting, but what's happening is that it's actually separating the joints this way. So when it's pulling, when she's laying here, all it's doing is doing a gentle pull and then a relax, a gentle pull and then a relax. And what's happening when we're doing that is that if you look at two bones like you have here, so when you rub the back of your neck, this is the back here, this is the front. What this is doing, she's laying like this, and all it's doing is opening up those joints and closing them, opening and closing. Now, why that's important is because there's a nerve that's going to sit right there. You can see it on this side here. There's a gentle, there's a nerve here that's going to get a lot of pressure if that neck curve and the way that the neck is lined up is not proper. That nerve then takes more pressure, and maybe that nerve goes up into the face, into the eyes, up into the head. So when we're doing the spinal decompression for headaches, our job is really to just relieve pressure on the neck muscles, and ultimately on the nerves that are coming from the pressure that's on those bones. And so as we're getting through this, gradually, some people come off of this and they say, I feel like my headache just got better all of a sudden because you just relaxed everything. However, they do take a little while for the neck to remember what we just did. So our job is going to be with this as one of the therapies that we use. If you are a candidate for this particular therapy, we know that by looking at things like X-ray, MRI, and we also look at your general posture to figure out if this is something that can be useful for your headaches. But this is one of the ones that we love because this gets such great results, and honestly, it makes your neck feel better as well, and you're just going to be like a totally different person. So I hope that helps. If you know anybody that's had headaches, if you've had headaches, let them know about this video. This is really something that can be beneficial. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.